Alright, what's going on, guys? gdoggcasey here with another episode of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Just a really quick disclaimer. I am using a different mic for this recording. My Blue Yeti has been acting up a little bit, so I'm just using my headset mic, and I'm hopeful that it'll sound okay. But let me know what you think in the comments. So finally, we are kind of out of the tutorial area, and the game opens up a little bit here. I have been here before, but this is where I have the least amount of experience, so we're going to start cracking into stuff that's new to me pretty soon here. Anivia says, hey, wait, mind if I bend your ear about something? So here's the first and most important thing. Beth gave you a crucial mission, I get that, and I know you'll get the job done. I saw you in action. But here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defenses here. If they come at us while you're gone, I don't know if we'll be able to fight them off. Do you want me to stay here and guard the tavern? You what? No, your task is far too important. You can't just hole up here all cozy like waiting for the demons to knock on the door. We need to take the fight to them. But if those freaks try to make a move on this place, Beth will send a runner to get you. If that happens, you leg it back here, alright? Because if you don't, you'll be coming back to an ash pile, got it? Okay, so just everything is on our shoulders. Got it. When do you think they'll attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. It might not be here that they could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin know that they've lost the upper hand, and that we're going to push back hard. If things kick off here, you should know. After they attack, some things could be changed beyond recognition. So if you've got any business that needs taken care of, you'd better do it soon. Alright, what else do you wish to discuss? So the rift that damned beetle left with its scythe. Yeah, well, it cut the city into two, and it's kind of difficult to get across. My scouts tell me that there's a halfway decent place to set up a crossing in Market Square. Not that any of them tried it to make sure. Okay, sorry. It's early in the morning, my reading is not great right now. But if you've got a mind to go across, and I think you're going to have to eventually, you might want to give the square a once-over. Okay, see you later. So she's just giving us quests. And we're probably going to get quests from other people too. We're going to talk to people around here. The dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel, one whose high crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty, lightless windows make it clear that all inside is dead. Okay. Oh, it's you. Good work back there in the Grey Garrison. Name Staunton Vane. If you've heard the rumors about me, this face which looks like it's never known anything as carefree as a smile, just so you know, everything people say about me, it's true. I need to talk to an elf that calls himself the Storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? A strange old fellow, that one. He used to sit with me for hours, asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort. He just listened. At first I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible, but later I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he's alive and well. He's completely blind and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know one place he might be. Look for him in the Blackwing. It's a library. Here, I'll show you where it is on the map. And I don't know what use a library is to a blind elf, but he loved the place. Okay, what do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor, as bad as Arilu Vorlesh, who is a Sarkorian witch. That I'm a disgrace, even among the ranks of the condemned. That Queen Galfrey should never have spared me. That I belong on the gallows. Okay, you can have a look at that. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Why do they hate you? You really don't know? I'm the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in fortresses on the edge of the World Wound, instead of bringing the fight to the demons. We used to have a foothold in the Wound, the mighty unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell, and all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tried. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so, but the Queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in order to undo what I had done. So that's how I live. Decade after decade, fighting in the condemned. A military unit made of petty criminals. Oh, okay. As you can see, I have fixed nothing, and I have earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit in my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. I'm actually unsure. I feel like this is what I would say. Really? Well, that's something, I suppose. A whole city fell because of you? How is that possible? What do you mean, how? If you don't trust a word of a condemned, go ask somebody else, like my brother Jorin. And if you still don't believe me, what's it to me? If you're about to ask me to recount the story of my disgrace for the 1000th time, don't. You really don't have any friends? I couldn't have survived this long if I was completely alone. Jorin, my little brother, he keeps me going. He never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters in the condemned console themselves by thinking, I got stripped of my rank, but at least I'm not Staunton. I don't know, man. This guy was like one-shotting demons, so I think he's pretty good. Commander Tirabade seems to be the only person in the whole army who remembers that I'm a soldier and not a drudge. She has no qualms about taking me into battle. She's had some mud flung at her in the past, or so I hear. That's why she tries to keep an open mind about people. It's no surprise that she's the only one to hold on to her sense of reason in this farce. So many years in the condemned, surely you've paid your penance by now. That's not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands. The condemned isn't the worst part. All these years I've prayed to Torag for forgiveness. Torag is a dwarf god, I believe, or father of creation. Countless times I've gone to his priest. Countless times I've kneeled before his altar. If only the father of dwarven kind would answer my prayers just once. Not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me that I am still one of his children. But it seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own god doesn't think I deserve redemption? Yeah, I have to go. Alright. So we've got just a bunch of random NPCs here. Some of them have names, so they'll probably talk to us. We're gonna look around. I don't know who this is. Visali? A stout old man with a fuzzy gray beard mumbles a prayer. What can I do for you? Show me the scrolls you're selling. Okay. So we can get a lot of scrolls here. A meta magic rod. We can also sell things. Although I guess he will not. We have 16 masterwork glaives, I mean. Okay, we can actually just offload all this stuff to him. We'll keep a dwarven war axe. We'll sell that. Sell that. For some reason, I feel like I want to hold on to that. This... Another glaive that none of our characters are using, so we'll sell that. Sell those. Sell the composite longbow. I'm going to keep that one. I mean, at this point we'll hold on to this though, but we'll sell most of what we don't need. We're keeping all the magical supplies because I just don't want to sell anything that I might regret. But we just made a bunch of money. Unsure if I want to be spending on this though right now. But just nice to know that there's a scroll seller that's got a lot of stuff here. Who are you? Visali Rathamus, the rector of the local temple of Abadar. The temple is gone, though, and if we snooze here for much longer, the city will be lost as well. Who's the boy? I'm talking to everybody, by the way, because this is how you pick up, like, quests that you would never know about otherwise. He's a smart boy. His faith is strong. He serves Aristil. Old Deadeye, the stag god. There's still something he can learn from an old servant of Abadar. He'll be a great cleric once he gets a little older. He sells scrolls, and lots of them, something for every emergency. While you're here in the tavern, I can read one for you. Okay. Just a scroll seller, basically. Now, I believe if we talk to our party members, we can really, like, dive deep into their lore. Maybe occasionally I will do that, but I don't want to take up the entire video just reading everybody's lore. So, we'll decide when we want to learn more about our party members. Indora, an opposing young Oread, is surrounded by a crowd of crusaders. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between Jitska, legionnaires, from the last war, and the crusaders. The perfection of form and spirit they were imbued with during creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine, not a ragtag bunch of individuals, but a united whole. Now tell me again, why am I supposed to be impressed by your reckless assaults, where everyone is fighting for their ego and not for the right, for the right to beat their peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice? Some of the crusaders are grumbling unhappily, but it's clear that they've been captivated by the woman's words. The only exception is a scraggly, disheveled halfling monk whose puffy black eye gives him away as a brawler and a troublemaker. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to engage. Okay, let's quietly listen. One of the crusaders angrily curls his fist tightly and retorts with a burst of passion. If those gists of yours, or whatever, had come for us, we'd have their guts for garters. You think we've never fought a mighty adversary before? The woman chuckles. I would love to see you storm a 60-foot-tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back. And I'll have you know these fortifications were defended by Jiskin priest craftsmen armed with demon-bound war machines. Okay, they use the enemies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. You should not argue with someone who happens to be the most authoritative researcher on the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. She looks at us with and flashes an amused smile. The lecture is over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? Who are you? I am Indora, a warrior, magus, and scholar of classical warfare from Garund. I admit that I'm mildly offended by the fact that my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I'm willing to accept that this is due to Aveston's isolation from the sophisticated culture of the world at large. You've come a long way to be here. I like to think of myself as an inhabitant of Golarion, and I don't narrowly identify with any country in particular. Fair enough. Why did you come here? To witness a legendary war, the confrontation between denizens of a plain famous for its love of violence and the crusaders from every continent, united by the common goal of defending their home. An epic struggle of colossal proportions that hasn't been particularly epic so far, truth be told. Pink Eye has a monk. He's the monk with the black eye. Maybe she just can't see it from here. The view will get way more epic if she stops hiding among us and takes a walk outside. Looks like you know more about warfare than any of us. Oh, I'm hearing things, or did someone finally acknowledge my competence in the art of warfare? Perhaps there's a sufficiently open-minded person among the Crusaders after all. I find myself pleasantly surprised. So why don't you join the Crusaders and show them how it should be done? No, I'm a historian, an analyst, a theorist. Do you know what these three words have in common? They describe a mortal woman who does not participate in the conflict upon which her thesis will be founded. But then again, I will hardly be able to describe this mess as anything other than a feeble likeness of the last war of Jiska. The more dangerous the upcoming scuffle is, the more motivated we are to find clever and pretty words to justify not actually doing the fighting. What is this last war that you mentioned? The last war of Jiska, of course, a large-scale conflict that took place 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. It was a war against the Osiran Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues, the war that ended the legendary Jitska Imperium, an epic struggle, alas, including the ones I'm witnessing here. Okay. I'm going to start clicking through these. There's a lot of reading. If you're into the lore. But I don't want to kill my voice like 14 minutes into recording this video. Let's just leave it. Okay. Can we talk to Pink Eye? Not really, no. Okay, Okay, there's Sela. Here's somebody named Hilor. Oh, he's got a portrait. Venture captain of the Pathfinder Society. Oh, is he the one that we can... Yeah, we can create our own party members through this guy, but it costs money. I'm the superior officer among Pathfinders in this region of Mendev. However, the Society is running almost no operations here right now. Besides me, there are almost no Pathfinders. Actually, I'm only stuck here because of an old feud with a demon worshipper, known as the Spinner of Nightmares. I've had to work alone without the support of the Society, but I've made a lot of acquaintances among the local mercenaries and daring fighters. So can I can retrain myself, and I can change essentially everything about me? Okay. Worth knowing. Because of the idea that I've made several kind of poor decisions with my character creation. Hilor and the Spinner of Nightmares. Okay, we can learn all about that. I'm not going to read the whole thing. We have Irabeth here. What is our main objective? Okay, I think we've already gone through all these. I'm just going to click to see if I get any quests. I'm not going to ask personal questions, so yeah, let's go. I feel like we're already sitting in this tavern for quite a long time. I did see another name over here.
Let's move.
Horgasworm. We got our 2,000 coins. Here, take this. Yes, it's 2,000 coins. Take your payment and remember that Horgasworm always keeps his word. You helped me get back to the surface, and I duly paid you for escorting me. Now, speaking of our future cooperation, I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay generously for your services. What do you mean a job for someone like me? For an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze and then lie down drunk in the gutter? Or do you think you're somehow different? A traveling knight, perhaps, noble of heart, but without a coin to your name. You seem a reliable enough ally to me, and you did get me out of those mongrel caves, so why should I care about what you do with my money once you've got it? We failed a perception check. So that means we think he's one of those people who think the entire world owes him something. So what does this job involve? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Canabras. I still have... Well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building with a large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside, one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect that the servants fled when they saw the demons. Only Abadar knows what's happened in there since. Therefore, I would ask you that you meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they have no desire to set foot outside this tavern. Damn cowards and traitors, that's what they are. Also, please do take Camellia with you. I trust that girl more than the rest of your gang. She is of noble birth, after all. I think my character is noble, so I'm not gonna say that. What kind of reward are we talking about? 1,000 gold coins. I do a plus 11 to try to double the reward. Hey, we succeeded. Just barely. Several tense moments pass in silence, then Horgus' face relaxes. Deal. Alright, deal. Marvelous, most excellent. His face relaxes again. I'll proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my hand, but do hurry unless you want me to lower your reward. Okay. Well, see you later. This is why we want to be talking to people, though. Yeah, we're not going to talk to Camellia. Let's talk to the bartender. A big, long description of the bartender. He's bald. He has clumsy hands. Delicate. What it'll be. Oh, we passed a religion check to talk about the medallion you're wearing. That's a sacred symbol, isn't it? Are you a cleric of Caden Kaled? I'm a tavern keeper, best in the city. The best there's ever been, and I pray to the best god there is. Who are you? Oh, he's an albino. Gemel Hawks, vampire. Okay. Are you really a vampire? He gives you a long look of reproach and then answers no. How did you end up in the Crusader City? How did anyone end up here? How did you, or them? The world is big, but still there isn't a place for everyone. People no longer have a life anywhere else, they end up here. Or people who no longer have a life anywhere else end up here. Any news in the city? There are demons everywhere, and you showed up. Any places worth visiting? If you mean places that normal people usually stay well away from, there are plenty, like the Pitaxian wine cellar. So we got a location. Once belonged to a Pitaxian trading house, the King Irovetti came to power in Pitax, and property started changing hands. Soon after, the seller's shop assistant was found in a ditch. Not all of him, mind, just his head. Numerian gangsters. Numerian is another nation, I think. So it's Pitax. Numerian gangsters had taken possession of the place. They wanted to sell something stronger than wine on the street. They ended up on the gallows. Then King Irovetti's numbers was up. So now the store stands empty and unclaimed. People say the headless ghost wanders the place at night, moaning ghoulishly. Okay. I see you're not one for talking. Alright, what do you have? So this guy sells potions. So we have a scroll seller. Oh, a bag of holding. An additional 100 pounds. Let's buy one. What is Dark Omen? Ray of Enfeeblement, Scare, Ray of Exhaustion, Fear, and Ways of Fatigue. These don't seem that bad. Only one additional damage, though, doesn't strike me as that helpful. Alright, we bought the bag of holding. This is our room. Any other names? Yep, over here. Jernog. A young man in well-worn traveling clothes and a simple wooden symbol of Iristil. Are you one of the Crusaders? Thank you for defending those of us whose talents lie off the battlefield. I'm Jernog, servant of Erastil. Pleased to meet you. What are you doing? I only took my holy orders recently, so my god has only bestowed a little of his power upon me as yet. I'm sorry to say that the number of wounded fighters in this tavern is far beyond my power to heal. But there's a reason people say, have faith in the gods, but look to yourself first. I may not be able to help the wounded with magic, but I can at least cut up bandages. Are you from around here? No, I was just passing through Canabris. I was sailing down that old man of ours, the great Selin River, to a village by the name of Chili Creek. I happened to land in the city on the eve of the festival, and I'm ashamed to say I decided to stay for a day to enjoy myself. But I ended up staying in the city longer than I bargained for. Chili Creek? Where's that? It's a small fishing village. It's not even marked on some maps, but people do live there. What they don't have is a priest. They have no one to heal their wounds, no one to offer prayers for a good catch, no one to give their dead a dignified burial, and the world wound is a stone's throw away. So I'll be setting sail for Chili Creek to serve my god and my people. Alright. Once we've held Canabris, I'll be going there. If by the grace of the good gods we all survive this, you should come and visit me sometime. You'll find the village here on the bank of the river. Cool. Aren't you, a young and inexperienced cleric, afraid to go to the border of the world wound? I won't lie, I am afraid, but what can I do? Those villagers are simple people like you and me. Every day of their I'm not a simple person. Every day of their short lives is spent doing hard, honest work. That's exactly the kind of life I want. Something simple but meaningful. If I had centuries ahead of me like elves and some other races do, I might have spared some 50 years or so to travel around the world. Or maybe even 100. Why not? But I don't have time to spare, so I want to spend my short life in a place where I'm needed most. I could use the help of a cleric. Aristotle knows I'd be glad to help you, but it's no use. My spells are depleted. I have no training in potions or scrolls. See this robe I'm cutting out for bandages? It's the second to last one. Alright. But we did get a mark on the map. Looks like there's another character here. A fragile-looking elf sits in front of you, eyes closed. He is pale as a ghost. His arm is wrapped in a blood-stained bandage. Raising his eyes to meet you, he says faintly, I am Thorn Autumn Haze, at your service. His pale lips are reddened by blood, but you see no signs of pain or fear in his gray eyes. Do you need help? Do not trouble yourself on my behalf. A local healer tended to me. Besides, I come from a resilient, hardy people. My body will endure both the wounds and the poison delivered through them. Who are you? My name is Thorn Autumn Haze. I've come from Keonin because I am a hunter, and all minions of evil are my quarry. I won't say more than that, if you don't mind. We are strangers and of different race and culture. I'd rather not tell you more than is necessary. Who wounded you? A sinner and accomplice to demons. The quarry I am hunting in this inhospitable place. I am his age. You can trust me. I might be able to help you. It'd be impolite to refuse such a direct and friendly offer. Who is your quarry? Hunting a fugitive, a Descarite by the name of Kaylessa. It pains me to admit that there are heinous malefactors such as her among my noble kind. I managed to catch up to her in Canabras, and I wounded her. Then demons appeared, and the city was engulfed in flames. I was injured in the battle that ensued, and couldn't free her soul from its service to her dark masters. I'm sorry for your misfortune. There's no need for pity. Our ancient kind is blessed with great longevity. We gain a deeper understanding of the world than other races, and we learn our lessons better than anyone. That goes for learning from our mistakes as well. I survived, which means I will be more prepared when next we meet. I wish to aid you in your hunt. Uh-oh. I thank you, but this is my mission, and I'm used to facing all manner of terrors on my own. I do appreciate your willingness to help. If you happen to meet Kaylessa, take caution. She has turned many innocent souls to the path of evil, and darkness has rewarded her with many gifts. Her appearance alone will tell you that. It is warped. The agate skin, the malicious stare of her blood-red eyes, the bestial teeth. She's more a monster than elf at this point. What does she look like? Failed. Her skin is dark, her hair is preternaturally white, her red eyes can see perfectly in the dark. Oh, I guess I would have been able to tell what kind of race she was. I've come to know from experience, but bright light causes her kind pain. I used an alchemical powder that explodes in dazzling flash, and she cried out as if I stabbed her. Okay, I have to go. Can we go to the basement? Or is this where we came from? Oh, there's definitely people here. And loot. I remember this. Let's talk to Woljif.
Hey, Chief. Hey, Dreamboat, come over here. I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljif, or I'll knock your teeth out.
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
Who are you?
Woljif. Woljif Jeffdo. I deal in useful things. I can get you whatever you want. Anything. But there's just one problem.
Okay. Why are you in chains?
Does it really matter? Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
He was caught thieving.
What do you want from me?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives, too. And even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
What a load of guff! If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the Queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
Your shadow. What was that?
Get me out of here and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious.
Okay, I can't help you while you're chained up here. How can I free
That's
you?
easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty looking gal, always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy WotR locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior and make a contribution to society. You got that? Will you do it?
Well, obviously this guy's gonna be a party member, so yeah, alright, I'll talk to Irabeth about your situation.
I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
Alright. Let's have a look at some of this loot. Chainmail. What is this? Oh. Oh, hello. Okay, do they all want to be down, maybe? Hold on, let's look in here. Maybe they all want to be up. Okay, nope. We'll just take this shield right off the wall. Outside. Okay, we don't want to go outside yet. There's probably something to do with this lever. Oh, what's this? The button won't budge. Okay, I heard a weird noise there. Does that do anything? No, won't budge still. Okay, let's try one more thing. Okay, no, I don't know what to do. Alright, we'll talk to Irabeth after we've made sure that there is no one else left to talk to. And it's quickly seeming like this episode is going to be all spent inside the tavern. There's Anivia, Lan, talk to her. Kiato, who's that? Okay. The Queen will not leave us to die. Alright, yeah, looks like we've spoke to everybody. So we can talk to Irabeth again. There's a tiefling chained up in the Defender's Heart. What can you tell me about him? WotR is a petty thief from a gang of thieflings operating in Canabras. That's what we call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them. The rest managed to escape. We have nowhere else to keep him apart from the Defender's Heart, but that's hardly a prison. WotR knows it too. He's been begging us for days to let him go free or have someone vouch for him. He's already asked you to put in a good word for him, hasn't he? She squints at us thoughtfully. If you want to recruit WotR and put him to good use, go ahead. Take him off our guard's hands. He can ill afford, or we can ill afford, to let a soldier spend their days watching over a middling thief. I hope the tiefling proves useful, should you decide to take him along. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll take him. He's not gonna... He's not earning himself a permanent place on our team.
March on.
Wait, we have to go this way, that's right. I feel like our team is lacking a strong fighter type, which normally my character fills that role. We have a paladin, but other than that, we don't really have anyone else fully armored up. Alright, you're coming.
Well, Chief, what do you got for me?
I talked to Erebeth, and I've decided to make you a part of my troop.
You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin. Get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free.
You're sure to regret this. This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words.
You're a bitter little man, Delvin. Petty and mean. You can't even be happy for me, can you? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. And now, Chief, straight down to business. You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. We just call ourselves the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck here in the Defender's Heart, a little bird told me that big sister Charisme wanted to see me. That she had some questions to ask me. You following? Now, she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No, something serious has gone down, and I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So, I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look mean, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go. I'll show you the way.
All right. Oh, he had bracers of armor +2. Okay. And it looks like we got a level up somewhere along here. I don't know if we've had that the whole time. I only just noticed it. So let's see if we can level up. A level 3 overwhelming mage. Arcana, persuasion, use magic device, and perception. Okay, we get another feat here. What feats have I picked? Spell focus, combat casting, yeah, so I took the leader background to give me all this proficiency. It was mostly just like a role-playing thing. I wanted our guy to be the leader of the party, and, you know, he has a background in leadership. But all these skills do not help at all. And we worship Gorum, the Lord of Iron, even though we're a mage. Okay, we already have spell focus and combat casting. Alertness. What do we want here? Elemental focus. Fast learner. Additional skill point. Teamwork fee. We don't really want any of those right now. I mean, if we take greater spell focus, we can just really hammer in the evocation. I don't know what else we would take. We can take spell focus and get a different type. A lot of these require prerequisites and are just not able to be picked up. Alright, let's just hammer in evocation. So now we get another spell. This is another level 1 spell. We have mage armor. Okay. and magic missile. Flare burst. Seems okay. Ear piercing scream. It's a daze effect. Shock and grasp. That's a touch attack. Sleep is always good. Let's do flare burst. Seems like something that we can actually use. It does an AoE damage. Functions as a flare, except it affects all creatures in a 10-foot radius from the target point. So it does have range. I'm trying to figure out how much range it has. Oh, does it... Or does it burst off of me? Well, regardless, we'll take it. There we go. Okay, so I think we're done inside the tavern. So let's go have a look outside. See what things are like out here. Might have more people to talk to. What is this? This place has been sanctified, so because of this is why the demons are not coming in? Okay. Why not just put one of those up like every 20, 30, 40 feet or something like that? I don't need that stuff, I don't think. Alright, what's going on out here? Lots of people chilling outside. No one has a name. One noble chilling with all the citizens. Okay, there's a way up here. There's a little chicken or something. Oh, here's somebody. Joran. Oh, that's Staunton's brother, right? Let's talk to him. A grizzled dwarf turns a blade in his callous hands, carefully inspecting its edge. When he sees you approaching, he sets the blade aside and greets you with a nod. A new face in the city. You picked a good time to come to Canabras. As you can see, we're in sore need of warriors. Okay, what kind of... So this guy's going to be selling all our armor and weapons. Or at least all our armor. We got some nice magical armor here and some magical weapons. Earthbreaker, Smasher. Seems cool. Having somebody on our team that can use that would be dope. And we have our party set up here this time. But we have nobody who can use a big hammer like that. But just lots of weapons and armor from Joran. He's got a ton of stuff. I don't know where he keeps all this. Almost anything that we need we'll be able to get from him. Do you know everyone in Canabras by sight? Well, not everyone, but I make it my business to know the people who might need my services. A blacksmith's work isn't just at an anvil, you know. Are you Staunton Vane's brother? Yep, where he goes, I go. That's how we've always done it, even before the world wound. I forge the armor, he goes into battle and breaks it. He brings it back to me, and I repair it and make it better than before. Everything's changed since then, of course, but that part has stayed the same. How was he to blame for the fall of Dresden? I've told this story so many times already. Well, telling it one more time won't kill me. Dresden was built after the First Crusade, back when it seemed like victory was ours for the taking. And that the demon invasion would soon be at an end. The population of old Sarkoris was thoroughly diminished, and many of them hoped to see their hard fighting repaid with a small plot of unclaimed land. Dresden was a fortress built on all our hopes, and on Mendev's ambitions. Though you're not supposed to say that out loud. Oh, this is going to be a long story. What a city it was, his age you can't even imagine. It was built by the finest engineers from the Five Kings Mountains. Queen Galfrey spared no expense. Dresden was meant to be the capital of the Crusade movement, a monument to its glory and a beacon of hope for all Golarian. However, our heroes were drawn there to seek fame and glory, and they came from all over. Taldor, Garund, Tianzia. I couldn't list them all. A relic known as the Sword of Valor was kept there, the banner that had been carried into battle by Iomade herself, back when she was still human. That banner protected the city and kept the demons from teleporting inside its walls. As long as the banner was in place, Dresden was invincible, or so we thought. I made a mistake. But then the world wound suddenly expanded. The demons launched a new onslaught, and folks started saying it was time to declare the Second Crusade. Dresden was unassailable until one young officer was tempted by a beautiful woman. She convinced him that the banner shouldn't be hanging in the city, and that its rightful place was on the battlefield. She whispered honeyed words about glory and valor, and convinced him that he could be a hero as great as Iomade herself. And that poor old fool believed her. He rounded up from some of his hot-headed friends and carried the banner outside the city gates on an unauthorized foray. The demons slaughtered them within seconds, but for some reason the courageous ringleader was spared. A whole army teleported into Dresden. It was a bloodbath. As you can guess, that officer was called Staunton Bane, and the woman turned out to be a demon. Not just any demon, it was Minago, that foul wretch. She's given us a lot of grief here in Canabras too. Just don't ask me what I was doing while my brother was off having trysts with that beast, and why I didn't save him from his own stupidity. Who could have guessed it would end like this? I failed my brother, that's the truth. I blame myself every day. Okay. Why do you have your forge here? Wherever I am, that's where my forge is. A true master of any craft will always find the tools they need. I miss my old forge, of course. It's now just a pile of charred stone and metal. But I've still got my hands, and that means I can work. Let's show Radiance. Do you recognize this sword? Do I recognize it? Of course I do. I made this with my own hands. There's my brand, see? Oh, Yaniel. Things have been tough without you. But at least we've still got your sword. That's something. In battle, ordinary swords get blunted. They break. But sometimes a weapon can preserve. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm no authority on these things. But something like an echo of the deeds done with that weapon. Or more like the reflection of the wielder's soul? I don't know. I will say one thing. Take care of that sword. Yaniel may no longer be with us, but the demons will still remember why they need to turn tail and run when they see Radiance. Oh, the scabbard's all worn. We can't be having a fine sword like this being carried around in this tatty thing. I'll make you a new one if you like. If the city stands strong and we both survive, come see me again. I'll have it ready, no charge. Okay, cool. Okay, well, we got more lore. That's the way to exit the area. Okay, is that everything? Looks like it. Alright. So I think finally we can leave. And you know what? This is probably a good place to call this episode. I wasn't really planning on making this one a short one, but we did a bunch of tavern stuff, a bunch of reading, a bunch of lore. We picked up a bunch of quests, and we should really decide which one. So these ones have timers on them. This is the main quest. Or one of them. This is a quest with all the things inside of it. Gather allies. Okay. We haven't visited the library yet. That's something we can do. Spies amidst our ranks. And then Gwyrm family secrets. We have to go to his home. Okay, I'm starting to understand this. So we have to scout his mansion. We have to scout the Tower of Estrad. We have to find the Storyteller. We have to gather allies. We have to be prepared. We have to visit Jernog in Chili Creek. And we have to find and kill Kaelessa. I think this is completed. Yeah, okay. Alright, so these ones are all completed. And then we have a companion quest. Find Jana Aldore for Sela. So this is where I get a little confused. Like, I guess this means, are we currently in the last chapter? Like, because it's set up, it's giving us these right now. So it's telling us that we're currently in the last chapter to complete this quest, or it will fail. We also have to talk to Sister Charismai. And we have these errands as well. Out on parole. We completed it. Should be a way to get across the rift. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out this, you know, how this actually works. This journal. But I'm starting to understand now. We can clearly see what our quest is just by reading this header and read a little bit below it. These are all kind of main story quests, I suppose, and companion quests. I mean, it's possible we want to do the companion quest first. I don't really know. If you think that there's like anything that really matters in which order we do things, I'm guessing we want to do the Hourglass quest first. But which one? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Or maybe it does matter. But something tells me that completing the story quests will push the chapter forward, and doing these will not. So maybe if we can try to find ways to do this first, that will be the way to do it. But anyway, let me know what you think. I'm not, you know, I've created a character that is not optimized very well, and as much as I say I love games like this, I always play them for a bit and then I don't finish them. So we're going to try to push through that this time, and that just means that I might need some help from you guys in the comments, but whatever happens, we'll do our best. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.